just as the heading says, being great it's expected. Being good is just completely a waste of time. It's all about being remarkable these days, and I'm going to show you exactly how and why things have changed massively around the world in the last 3 to 6 months. Let's go and get stuck in right now. So when we talk about business and we talk about guarantees and talking about doing all the things that are amazing to grow your business, it comes back to a principle of this whole good to great principle. Good teams do good things. Great teams change the world around them. And for many years, close to a decade now, I've actually been talking to people in the allied health and medical industry pretty much with the same words, and that is, that good teams do good things. Good teams help people. Good teams are fun to be around and all these type of good things. But ultimately, it's the great teams and the great businesses that actually change the lives of the community and the world around them, right? There's a big difference between being good and being great. But what's really happened over the last 3 to 6 months is the world's changed massively. Now, I know that might sound really common sense to hear that. It's like, yes, Jason, like the whole world's different because we've got lockdowns and COVIDs and all the other bits and pieces. But more so that when we scratch that itch and we dive a little bit deeper, what we actually find is that these days being great is no longer good enough. It's one thing to say you're good, let's go to great, and inspire your team to, be great, be better, improve. But unless you're trying to be remarkable, and unless you're showing that you're remarkable, it's just simply not good enough. Now, there's two parts to this. In fact, let me just explain to you. A really good friend of mine, marketing global guru, Michael Griffiths, he actually tells a very good story about a good friend of his and Singapore Airlines several years ago now, well and truly before COVID lockdowns and closed borders and things like that. But he talks about this friend of his who was in a business class flight going to Singapore on Singapore Airlines. He opened up his food on the flight and he had a rock in the food. Only a small little pebble type of thing, regardless of what it tasted like, how crunchy, how big, whatever. It shouldn't have been there, right? And so he explains how they were profusely sorry. They brought him, whatever he wanted and helped out and, bought more champagne, and they got him a special bottle of wine that they gave to them as they exited the plane and all these type of things. All the good things that you would expect, right? Even just trying to, not just say sorry and replace the meal. That's the good thing. When you then get another really nice bottle of wine and, gift voucher or whatever it was on their next flight to be able to have in purchase, food, etc., that becomes a bit more of a great experience. But he then got off in Singapore, went to the hotel, and there was actually a note at the hotel to call Singapore Airlines. So Singapore Airlines had called through to the hotel, obviously knew, who he was and knew the itinerary and that type of stuff, and they called through to speak to him. He returned the call and had one of the Asia Pacific directors of Singapore Airlines personally apologise and told him that they had already refunded his flight and they'd already put another flight coupon, etc., onto his booking, onto his frequent flyer account as well. Now, that becomes quite remarkable. They didn't offer to, just, make up the meal or say sorry. They went above and beyond. They gave him a new, a really good bottle of wine and a voucher. And by the time he'd got to the hotel, they'd already refunded his booking. They'd already given him a flight voucher, etc. And they truly had been remarkable in trying to make up for something so ultimately so small. Like it was only a tiny little rock. It's not that big a deal when you think about it, right? But they were made a challenging situation into a remarkable response. And as a net result, you buy loyalty, you buy trust, you buy everything that money can't buy, you buy by being remarkable. And so when we started to do this with some of our own clients and started to put things in place, we started to just knock the socks off our own clients. We started taking this mentality in my own private clinic, and it's not actually about money. That's the thing that most people think. They think, oh, okay, well, let's, I can buy a voucher, I can do this, I can do that, and we start to think about our decrease in profits and all that type of stuff. We're not actually buying loyalty or anything like that. What we're actually doing is just showing people that you care. You're showing that this is more than just dollars and cents, that this is actually a form of human marketing that can't be bought. It might be the extra one or two things that you do. Maybe it's with communication. Maybe it's the value adds. Maybe it's the phone call that you make, for instance. It's the be remarkable and knock people's socks off at every opportunity. That is now what is showing to be the best way for you to build and scale a health and medical business. And ultimately, I'll keep saying it, being great is expected. It's the new norm. Being remarkable is where it's at. Now, this story about Michael Griffiths has actually taken another turn. And for those that are actually watching this, you'll actually see me hold it up right now. It's a really nice card that says super fantastic coach, thank you on the front. And inside is a message. And again, you can see those that are watching it can actually see a $200 red balloon voucher and a personally, and I won't show you exactly what it says, from Michael to myself. So Michael and I work with some amazing people globally. Like we just have some really good close affiliations with some of our friends, some of our colleagues in multiple different industries. But Michael and I also work together with some of his clients, some of my clients to deliver wow. And I'm really proud of it because we do. We absolutely knock the socks off people and just do an amazing job. It was only about 2 weeks ago that I, with my family, made cookies, the cookie mix, etc. in the jars. We bought the jars, the ingredients. We did it all. I wrote a message to a bunch of our clients that were in lockdown in Melbourne, and we put all the bits and pieces together, sealed it up, made it all perfect, gave them the ingredients, and we sent packages to clients of ours in Melbourne, and basically just saying, hey, just thinking about you right now. I know you're doing it tough and you've got homeschooling and you've got lockdown, etc. Just wanted to, hopefully put a smile on your face, spread some joy, give you some fun time with your kids, for instance, to make some yummy cookies. I know we're in the health and medical industry, but, pardon the fact that so much of it is sugar-based. And away we went. And we just knocked people's socks off. I physically got a video of about a minute from one of our clients, and she was actually crying because she just said, like, it just blew my socks off. Like, I'm just amazingly grateful, and this is fantastic, right? So it's the small little things that aren't great. They're downright remarkable. Now, Michael, we've been doing some really great stuff together, and I really value the friendship and I really value the professional relationship we have as well. And so true to his word, he actually went ahead without me knowing, got a card for me, wrote it out with a really beautiful heartfelt message on the inside, and also got me a $200 red balloon voucher, which is going to be really cool when we get out of our own lockdown. And just knocked my socks off with it. Not expected, not needed, didn't have to. And hey, you know what? A voucher's great. But to be totally honest, the card and the fact that it's his handwriting with the nice, beautiful message on the inside, that's what actually knocked my socks off. And right then and there shows that he knows the value. That's why he talks about with clients that as well. The value of being remarkable. That is what is actually needed for you and all of us to be able to build health and medical businesses with where society is these days. So have a think about it right now. What are you doing in your business? What are you doing with your team? Because if you're still telling your team about how we want to go from being a good team to a great team, I'm sorry, with all due respect, but you're behind the 8 ball. You're 12 to 18 months behind. You're not ahead of the game. You're not, Wayne Gretzky going where the puck is. You're just like everyone else because we as an industry provide great. We all confirm appointments. We all make a phone call to say, oh, you're sick, let me rebook you and all this type of stuff. That's expected. So even though we try and justify what we do as being, oh, it's great, and we try and inspire our teams to go from a good mentality, doing good things to changing, like I said, it's been nearly a decade that I've been saying to so many people in our industry, it's about great companies and great teams changing the world around them. Well, I know that we need to step up. I've been saying it for the last 3 to 6 months, and it's massively, and we've just gone through it in this podcast right now. Being good is old school. Being great, that's even expected. Having just a simple guarantee of we guarantee our service quality and blah, 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 that's expected. That's not remarkable. So I think what all of us should be doing right now, and what I'd encourage you to do, is to sit down with your team and look at how you can actually go from being great, which is expected and boring, to actually being friggin' remarkable, knocking people's socks off. That's what is going to change the lives of the people around you. That is what we need to be able to do regarding human marketing and really having a big, solid change. We know how much it's done with our own business. We know what it's done with our clients in the last 3 or 4 months alone. So guys, here's the thing. Being good, old school, and quite lame. Being great, it's expected. It's what we all do. It's the new norm. But how many of you can actually say you're friggin' remarkable and just also prove it? I'll talk to you again very soon. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast. I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.